Perfect scoring conditions for the first round of the ANA Inspiration in Rancho Mirage, California, the LPGA Tour's first major of 2016. Ana Munoz, pepper and pins en route to a 5-under 67. She is your co-leader with 18 holes in the books on the PGA Tour. The final tune-up for guys before the Masters, where Jordan Spieth will look to defend his green jacket. And what a start he had at the Golf Club of Houston. 6 birdies and a bogey, a 5-under par round for the world number 2. We're going to have all those highlights and more next on Golf Central.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
The start to the 45th edition of the ANA Inspiration saw the winds die down, leading to some calm conditions and some red numbers during the opening round of the first major of 2016 out in the California desert. Welcome into Golf Central post-game, my shot at redemption with a winner on the PGA Tour, Billy Kratzert, winner on the LPGA Tour, Nicole Castrali, and a winner in my mom's eyes, George Savaricas. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to the highlights with world number 1, Lydia Ko, trying to get off to a quick start in a place she hasn't had a lot of success in Coachella Valley. Ko for birdie on the 8th.
Well, this comes after 7 straight pars. There you go.
So Ko at 1 under par. Bear in mind, she's never finished better than a tie for 25th in the ANA Inspiration on the 14th.
Obviously, water right. I've played with Lydia Ko. She doesn't play away from too many pins, and this is a perfect example of sticking it and going on to make birdie here.
So following up that bogey with the birdie, she's back in the red at 1 under par. Ko, this was pretty on 18.
We're going to see she puts a line on her golf ball. The ball rolls perfectly end over end, and the interesting thing she said today that her putting actually wasn't too good today.
So if we take a look, this is Ko's best opening round in the ANA Inspiration. Remember, a year ago, she had that streak of consecutive rounds under par where she shot 71, then followed that up with a 73. So Ko, her lowest round that she's recorded, and after posting that 70, here she is with Lisa Cornwell.
I was striking my irons and everything pretty good, but I didn't hit my drive very well, especially on the back nine. So I think that's where my bogeys kind of came. And I gave myself quite a few looks, up the hill for birdie, but I just wasn't able to, commit to my speed. And I left quite a few out there that was, kind of similar on line, but just short. So that's the last thing you want to be doing. But 2 under start to the first major of the year, I'm pretty pleased with that.
Ko staring up the leaderboard, though. Ai Miyazato for birdie on the 5th.
I was on the golf course with Ai back in Phoenix at the Founders Cup, and she hit every single fairway, flagged every single iron shot, but could not make a putt. She was 3-putting from 3 feet, and the difference is I added 2 degrees of loss last week at the Kia Classic and ended up finishing 3rd there, and obviously tied for the lead now.
5 under par, 67, seemingly making everything. Here's Ana Munoz, par 3, 17.
The pin located in the front portion of this green in a bowl. It's one of the easiest, so you just have to get it somewhere around the pin and it'll all funnel down, and she'll go on to have a birdie putt here.
Just outside the circle of friends, if you will, rolls to about 6 feet from the stick. So here she is trying to tidy up that pitch and putt.
She worked with her instructor again at the Founders Cup, trying to keep her shoulders and hands a little softer to give her better feel. And again, we see her on top of the leaderboard as well.
All right, so here is that aforementioned leaderboard from the Dinah Shore Tournament course at Mission Hills Country Club. It's Miyazato and Munoz at 5 under par. Then you see a trio of players at 4 under. How about Lexi Thompson giving chase, the 2014 champ, with a 3 under 69. The co-leaders off to quick starts.
Obviously 1 round is not gonna completely change my confidence, but I'm feeling good. As I said, I've actually been playing really well, and my scores haven't showed at all. So, I think it's just a matter of time when it's gonna start happening, and it did today. So hopefully it keeps like that.
I was kind of, really happy to play golf again, like my game again, because I was, kind of struggled last couple of years, and it was really hard, but I got through, and I'm still in the process, but I know that I'm moving forward, so I feel good.
So Ai Miyazato, this was a player who was perched atop the women's game as the #1 ranked player in the world in October 2010. Look where she's fallen to, Billy.
Well, and when you see a drop-off by a player like that, you kind of wonder what's going on, because you just don't learn how to, or forget how to play the game of golf. And as Nicole was talking about, the putting, it comes and goes, but the ball striking has to be there also. And if you don't combine the two with how deep the fields are on the LPGA now, you're gonna suffer. And a short hitter right now, I think, if she continues to putt well, I think she can gain that confidence back. Nicole.
Yeah, certainly off to a good start so far. Michelle, we are runner-up in the 2014 A&A Inspiration, trying to get off to a quick start. Nicole, for birdie on the 8th.
Difficult approach shot on the 8th, have to get it on the right level, which she did, and she'll go ahead and make birdie here.
Yeah! And you hear it rattle the cup. You couldn't see it disappear into the shadow. That got her to 1 under par. She's going for par on the 10th. New stance here, Billy.
Well, a little more open, converts the par putt there, and those are the putts that kind of keep the round going, George.
Then on 18 to close it out strong, another birdie attempt, this from about 8 feet.
With Michelle's length, she has to take advantage of these par 5s and make birdies if she's going to have a chance to play well this week.
So she gets in with a 2 under par 70 in her first round, and you can tell kind of what's been the downward trend for her. In 2014, she wins the U.S. Women's Open at Pinehurst. She was 4th in putts per green in regulation. Now she's 120th. She was 35th in 2015, so a downward spiral with the putter, to say the least. Here's Michelle explaining her putting philosophy to Lisa Cornwell.
I kind of always saw how Jack putted, and, it kind of worked out okay for him. So, obviously I've always been kind of like, Jack and putting and stuff, and, decided to go in a little bit more narrow. Putting's all about feel, and obviously, just kind of tried that out, felt comfortable, and hopefully maybe stick with it.
Is there a distance range you go to the other style?
It's kind of by feel, but shorter putts I do that, and the longer putts, I don't know, I just kind of do it by feel.
So it seems like a lot going on between the ears for Michelle. I need both Billy and Nicole to break this down for me. Nicole, she goes from the tabletop to kind of the hybrid Jack Nicklaus method that she alluded to. What's she trying to accomplish with that?
Well, first of all, she needed to make a change. She hasn't broke 70 yet this year. Shot 70, got off to a good start. I asked her a little earlier when I spoke to her, what do you feel that this going to the Jack style has changed the most? And she said, actually, I really don't know. I'm just trying not to overthink it. And at this level, she just needs to start to see putts starting online and start to see them go in to start playing better.
Billy, if you could take us through the stroke, we see the side-by-side with Jack Nicklaus and Michelle Wie.
Well, you can see Jack has always putted from an open stance. Therefore, he's able to see the line just a little bit better. And I think Michelle Wie, I think that's what she's trying to do here. She's trying to open up, maybe see the line just a little bit more. It kind of opens things up. The key word for her was when she said feel. I feel as though now I can make putts. There are players that putt by method. There are players that putt by feel. Right now, Michelle Wie needs to get back to that feel putting, because right now she's been too mechanical, and I think that's the reason that her numbers have gone so high, and she's 120th. So I think with this method, it's going to be more of a feel type situation for Michelle Wie. And George, Nicole, we all know that this is the club right here that'll get a player off track and get their head spinning that quick.
And she's probably hoping it'll lead to the celebratory putter toss, but she doesn't add a lot to cheer about since winning that U.S. Women's Open back in 2014. We still have a lot to get to on this edition of Golf Central. Highlights from Jordan Spieth's first round at the Shell Houston Open. Find out why the world number 2 is already ahead of last year at the Golf Club of Houston. And what was the key to Dustin Johnson's blistering 65? Those highlights coming at you next.